All this story would begin in the exhibition tournament that the Gods of Destruction had. However, everyone had thrown themselves against Beerus, implying that he was the most powerful god and the most hated by all. Beerus was able to face all the Gods of Destruction equally. However, in the end, only Kaitala and Beerus would remain. All the other gods had been defeated, but when both launched their last blows, Daishinkan would get in the middle of both, stopping their blows.
That has been all. Now I'll give the rules of the Tournament of Power, so that you'll be prepared.
The rules would be the same, however all the gods had taken a little grudge to the god of Universe 7, Beerus, since his power was so much, he was even able to defeat them even though they were 11 against 1. Everything would go on as normal, with the victory of Universe 7 and the Android 17 bringing them back to all the universes. All the gods were furious, especially with the Saiyan Goku, who had achieved a power beyond a god of destruction. The only one who would be able to defeat him would be the god Beerus. That's right, both subjects of great powers belong to Universe 7. The god Vermouth would convene a meeting with all the other gods of destruction, as they could not allow that Saiyan and Beerus further increase their levels of power. All the gods would come to his call.
Gods of Destruction, like you, I feel humiliated to be revived by a mere mortal. Do you want revenge like me?
Of course we want revenge, but we can't do anything. If you both join forces, you'd be able to defeat us very easily.
That shouldn't be a problem if we summon this super destroyer.
No! I am not going to merge with all of you again to give birth to the super destroyer.
You know that it is the only alternative, because if we face them all, even the Saiyan would be able to eliminate them on his own.
That Saiyan only pollutes the universe. He has no right to be alive.
I'm gonna rip his head off his body. I think that's an excellent thought, Sherry. So tell me, gods, are you with me or against me? We're willing to do everything to finish off Beerus and Son Goku.
All the gods were very thoughtful, however, one of the wisest gods began to speak.
The plan of the god of Universe 711 seems excellent to me, but we're overlooking something of utmost importance. The Saiyan Son Goku is the best friend of the King of Everything. The god of Universe 8 Liquor's right. Although when we merge all our powers unite and multiply 100 times, we're not opponents for an angel. The King of Everything would finish this off without realizing it.
For that reason, do not worry. Look who's on our side.
At that moment, a Daishinkan would appear. However, there was something strange about this one, since its essence was not the same as the Daishinkan of the Tournament of Power. All the gods would bow.
Gods, don't worry. I'm on your side. I'm not the Daishinkan you know, as I was the High Priest of the Zeno-sama of the future who would abandon all the universes.
So, you're the guardian of the other Zeno-sama who's in our time?
That's right, Champa. Our Zeno-sama abandoned us all because that filthy Saiyan asked him to. Without knowing that the whole future would be exterminated, beings of great powers like the gods, angels, and me, we were affected since the whole universe began to disintegrate.
So, Father, so you intend to support the plan of our destroyer gods?
That's right, so you guys don't have to worry. Me, being the High Priest, I know every weak point of the King of Everything and how to finish him off. Again, I repeat, gods, are you with us or against us?
All that time, all the gods, having the support of the High Priest, would accept.
Our plan to end Universe 7 has begun. The moment of revenge.
Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Vegeta and Goku were fighting at sea. That's right, sometime later, Bulma had organized a party on a yacht, and both Saiyans were having a great workout while Beerus and Whis were tasting all the food.
Damn, Kakarot! Activate the Ultra Instinct again. Why are you holding back?
I'm not holding back, Vegeta. I just need to be in trouble to activate it.
Then I'll put you on the verge of death so you'll be able to activate it.
Well, Mr. Goku and Vegeta have surprisingly increased their level.
That's right. It's time to have a successor. I don't have time to be the most powerful god anymore. I would like it to be Goku, but since he doesn't like to destroy planets, I know he won't accept, so the perfect candidate is Vegeta.
Whis and Beerus would continue talking, however, at that precise moment in which Goku and Vegeta were exchanging blows, a powerful attack was heading to Vegeta's blind spot, which would be able to finish with Vegeta Goku would realize that with his power he would not be able to do anything. He would quickly activate his technique.
Kaioken increase 50 times!
Goku's power would explode in a matter of seconds, leaving Vegeta surprised since it was supposed to be a training fight. Beerus and Whis had also noticed the power, but they're too far away to do anything. Goku with all that power would give a powerful blow to Vegeta. Vegeta, furious, was approaching Goku at a high speed, but he was surprised to see how Goku was stopping their destructive power.
Damn it! I'll not allow this to fall onto Earth. Kaioken increased 100 times!
With the power that Goku had expelled, he was able to disintegrate that great power, since the law of destructive power is based on not being able to destroy any beings that exceeds the power of its bearer. And Goku, by increasing his Kaioken 100 times, was able to overcome the limit. Goku would return to his base state a bit exhausted.
Kakarot, what just happened?
I have no idea, Vegeta. I just knew that attack was directed at you.
At that moment, Beerus and Whis would stand next to Goku and Vegeta since they noticed the presence of the 11 Gods of Destruction.
What the hell's wrong with you? Why the hell are you in my universe?
At that moment, Vermouth would stand in front of all the other Gods of Destruction.
I know that must be going through in your head, Beerus. The universe, after all, brought us to life, but it was also the worst humiliation we could receive. That's right, we won't forgive you. We will finish each of you one by one.
I'll never allow that. I can only finish with all of you.
I agree with you, but let's see what you could do when you face the Super Destroyer. You know the limit of its power. Goku, Vegeta, attack! Don't let them summon the Super Destroyer!
Goku and Vegeta, noticing that even Beerus got nervous when they named that being, both Saiyans would go on to the attack. Goku had recovered his power thanks to Whis. Goku in Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken increased 20 times. He was able to face the weakest gods, while Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution was powerful enough to keep some gods aside, and Beerus was able to take care of all the others.
It's too late, Beerus. When we arrived on this planet, we all prepared ourselves, only to complete the final step here.
At that moment, a pentagram would form on the entire planet Earth. That's right, and an extremely impressive power would be present. Beerus would likewise launch into the attack, but a strong bolt of lightning would make him retreat. That's right, all 11 gods were in the invocation of the Super Destroyer.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but we'll not be left behind. We'll summon Gogeta, the Hellborn Saiyan.
Goku and Vegeta, without thinking about it, giving birth to Gogeta once again. Gogeta, when realizing everything that was happening, would quickly pass to the Super Saiyan Blue maximum power. However, the power that was going to be released so much, leaving surprised even the same Whis. That's right, Gogeta was able to reach the most powerful state of Son Goku, achieving the Ultra Instinct. Daishoken was watching everything that had happened would be said.
This is bad. The power of those two Saiyans is great, and when they invoked that fusion, their power exploded. I'm not satisfied with that. They access the Ultra Instinct. Their power is comparable to the Super Destroyer, since the most powerful god, that is Beerus, is not found in this invocation.
The invasion was over, and they could observe a being which did not seem to be at all imposing.
Well, after millions of years, I've been summoned again.
Damn you! You don't have enough power as long as you don't have my power!
Beerus, with anger, would throw himself against the new being. However, the Destroyer was able to stop his fist with only one hand.
So that's why I feel weaker than the last time you summoned me. But you still don't have the power to face me.
The Destroyer was about to direct a furtive blow, which would be able to knock him out of combat. But at that precise moment, Gogeta would appear in front of Beerus, stopping the blow of that guy with only one of his hands.
So you're the invasion of the 11 remaining gods? How interesting. Now you'll face me! Who the hell are you? How could you stop my fist in its tracks?
I'm the summoning of Goku and Vegeta, the most powerful Saiyans of all the universes, and I'm the angel who was born in hell, the mighty Gogeta!
Gogeta and the Destroyer would begin to exchange blows at an extremely impressive speed. Beerus would be surprised since he would realize that Goku and Vegeta fused exceeded his power, but he was not 100% correct because in Super Saiyan Blue, he would have been slaughtered very easily. It was thanks to the fact that when observing the subject, his body felt the danger only with his pressure, managing to access the Ultra Instinct maximum power. The whole Earth was being affected by such a monstrous battle. However, Whis, with the help of his staff, would be able to restore it all completely, and being able to place an energy field so that the Earth is not affected, Gogeta was overcoming the Destroyer. In a clash of attacks, the Destroyer exceeded its allowed limit, returning all 11 gods. The attack was about to eliminate them. However, at that moment, Daishenkin would appear in front of everyone. Whis Beerus realized his presence was pure evil. Daishenkin with only one hand was able to stop such an attack, and at that moment, he would thunder his fingers, making Goku and Vegeta return to normal. Daishenkin would knock out everyone except for Goku and Beerus.
Father, why is he doing this?
Because of that damned mortal, my time epoch was destroyed, so I'll destroy everything he loves.
Daishenkin would take both Saiyans heading to the temple of Kami-sama, where he would quickly lock him up. And in the same way, he would place a divine seal of high power. Not satisfied with that, he would raise to heaven with all the other gods and would explode the entire planet.
Whis, are you with us or against us?
I'll never unite with a being like you.
I knew you'd say something like that, so die!
Daishenkin would throw a large sphere of energy, which Whis would try to stop, but the condensed power was too much and he would immediately perish. Daishenkin and all the other gods would leave to an inhospitable planet where Daishenkin would begin to give them some orders.
Firstly, what you need is to train a lot more. The fusion of only 2 mortals was able to defeat the fusion of 11 gods. And secondly, I need you to continue exercising your god positions normally. We cannot make Zeno-sama suspicious.
We understand about the training, Daishenkin-sama, but why must we still follow the orders of that dwarf?
You must follow his orders, because first, we must ask the Super Dragon Balls that the Destroyer gods are immune to the erasing technique.
Understood, Daishenkin-sama. That'll be what we'll do.
We are all in contact gods. Disperse.
All the gods would come out as flashes. Meanwhile, in the time room, Goku and Beerus were still not awake. After approximately 2 more hours, Beerus would be the first to wake up as he was less injured than Goku.
Damn it! As I could tell, the Daishenkin of the future was that brat Trunks has been corrupted by the negative energy and wants to finish with all of us.
At that moment, Goku would wake up in the same way, very badly wounded, because his wounds were serious. And at that moment, a portal would be created inside the time room from which Whis' staff would come out. At that moment, Whis' voice would be heard.
If you're listening to this, it must mean that I have died. With my last reserves of energy, I give you immortality, Mr. Goku. I give you all the knowledge to be able to break all your limits as a Saiyan. I trust you.
At that moment, Beerus would be filled with an immense rage, wanting to do everything to get out of that place. So much was the anger of Beerus, he was even able to open a tiny portal through which he wanted to leave. Goku would quickly take it.
Calm down, Mr. Beerus, please! If you leave this instant, Daishenkin will finish you and the death of Mr. Whis will be in vain!
Let go of me, Goku! You're right. I don't have the power to kill Daishenkin, but I'll kill all those bastards. We shouldn't have brought them to life!
Please, Mr. Beerus, calm down!
Goku, realizing that Mr. Beerus was not calming down and it was becoming increasingly difficult, he would access the Super Saiyan Blue with a Kaioken increased 50 times. Having immortality, his bones regenerated at an impressive speed. Beerus at that moment would understand everything.
I want to train so hard to defeat that damn Daishenkin. I swear I'll finish him with my own hands and not forgive him for murdering Whis. Not only do you want revenge, Mr. Beerus, I'll also make him suffer in the worst way possible.
Goku and Beerus would begin to train to be able to overcome their limits. At that moment, each one saw the right way to break their limits.
Mr. Beerus, despite being a god prodigy, you have a very powerful transformation. With this training, you'll be able to unleash it completely. Thank you very much, Whis, for everything. I swear I'll avenge your death. Mr. Goku, you being a Saiyan, you have no limit. These are one of the many traits of your power, but as I always told you, Mr. Goku, do not trust and always stay in the Ultra Instinct. Because if there's any attack, your body will react by reflex. Goku in the same way would observe all the training he had to do. At that moment, Beerus and Goku would stare at each other, both launched an attack. Goku wanted to master all his transformations, would pass to the Super Saiyan God, which with both would begin to give a good battle. The two beings possessed a power that even surpassed the gods. Goku and Beerus needed their bodies to be strengthened to be able to withstand the large loads of energy that were about to increase. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan was very thoughtful.
This is very strange. I don't feel the presence of Whis or the god Beerus. I'll go ask something to the god Champa to see if he knows what happened to his brother.
Daishinkan would quickly create a portal with which he would leave to Universe 6. Daishinkan would arrive in a few moments, observing the god Champa very agitated. That's right, Champa was training just as the Daishinkan from the future had said.
Well, but if it is a surprise to observe the god Champa training, what'll happen to make the laziest god train?
You'll soon find out, Daishinkan-sama.
I'm looking forward to it, but that's not the main reason for my visit. Tell me, Champa, do you know the whereabouts of your brother Beerus?
Last time we spoke, he was able to tell me that he was going to the outskirts of the universe to train with his Whis angel.
But in the outskirts of the universe, the conditions are extreme, even for me.
That's exactly what I told him, but he said that he would overcome all his limits and that nothing and no one would stop him. Daishinkan would give a little smile.
Beerus being so Beerus. He wants to keep the position of the most powerful god of destruction. Thank you very much for the information, God Champa. We'll be in touch soon.
Daishinkan would leave again to the realm of everything. At that moment, Champa would observe Vados. Vados,
I hope you're ready. The plan to overthrow the king of everything is about to begin.
Vados and Champa continued with their great training. In all the universes, the gods were training. Meanwhile, with the Daishinkan of the future, he was very thoughtful. That's right, he would know how to get rid of his counterpart and both guardians.
With my other part, I'm sure to defeat it. I have increased my powers a lot, but if both guardians join, I'll be finished. I don't know what I should do.
Meanwhile, returning to the realm of the whole, Daishinkan felt the same way, that something was wrong. Being a supreme angel, he had a much more developed perception.
Something very bad's about to happen. I better train. I'll also inform the king of everything.
Daishinkan would talk to both kings of everything, informing them everything that was happening.
Daishinkan, being an angel prodigy and being chosen as my guardian, I'll not overlook your preeminence. Guardians, we'll all train from now on.
As you command, great Zeno-sama.
Daishinkan and his power would create a room which was perfect for the training of the kings of everything, or supreme guardians, since its gravity and environment were perfect to increase their powers. Going to Universe 6 and the planet Sedala, Kale and Calufia were training. That's right, they also wanted to reach Super Saiyan Blue phase. Damn it! I want to be able to defeat the old man Goku!
But sis, Mr. Goku's very powerful. I don't think we have the power to defeat him.
Of course we don't have it now, but in a very short time, we'll be able to defeat him. Meanwhile, where Daishinkan was, a great idea had occurred to him.
If the Super Destroyer didn't have the power it had before, it's because it lacked the power of Beerus, the most powerful god. But if all the gods train and absorb the most powerful warriors of their universes, they'll reach an incredible level.
Daishinkan would communicate with all the gods mentally.
Gods, I want you to absorb the power of all mortals of great power. I trust you.
All the gods would accept. However, the most thoughtful would be the gods of Universe 6, Champa, and the gods of Universe 7, Vermouth, since they possess the most powerful warriors of all the universes. However, they were not going to disobey the orders of the High Priest. The first to start between the two would be Champa. That's right. Champa began absorbing the weakest beings of his universe to finally have the necessary power to face Hit, Kefla, and Kaba. However, of all that Champa was doing, Hit had noticed.
Damn it! Mr. Champa's absorbing all the warriors of this universe. This is bad. Sooner or later I'll have to face him. I must communicate with the Saiyans.
Quickly, Hit went to the planet of the Saiyans, informing them everything that was happening, leaving them very surprised.
But this is bad. We still don't have enough power to face a god. For that very reason, I've come. I, the legendary assassin, will train you personally, making you warriors of great power.
But Mr. Hit, where do you plan to train us? Because if we raise all our power, Mr. Champa will be able to notice us.
Don't worry about that. I control the time, or have you forgotten?
Hit at that moment would create a rift in space-time, causing everyone to enter.
Here, even if they expel all their power, they won't be able to find us, or at least it'll take them much longer. So it's time to train.
Hit at that moment launched an attack against the three Saiyans, leaving them on the verge of death.
Damn you! Why didn't you let us know when you were going to attack us?
A god of destruction will never warn you when he attacks you. Now, you're just dead.
Hit with a medicine that he had received in one of his missions would make them recover quickly. The three obtained an impressive Zenkai. That's right, being on the verge of death, their battle level had increased in an impressive way. Returning to the room with Beerus and Goku, both had obtained an impressive physique, and their power had increased in an incredible way. At that moment, both would feel ready to access their transformation. The first one to try it would be Goku, who, from one moment to another, was able to access the Ultra Instinct and would begin to increase his power remembering Whis' words.
Mr. Goku, imagine you are in the tournament of power. Since this power of a Saiyan is defined by anger, with the Ultra Instinct by a state of calm, you can maintain a balance. You'll be able to access all of your first transformations.
Goku would do as Whis had told him, beginning to imagine the tournament of power. Goku began to increase his power in an unusual way, being so much that the whole room of time would begin to shake.
The power that Goku is releasing is impressive. Can't believe all the power that he's capable of releasing.
Goku, from one moment to another, would shine a great light all around him, leaving Beerus without vision. When he opened his eyes, he would be surprised to observe a Goku very similar to when he faced on planet in the North Kaio. That's right, Goku had accessed the Super Saiyan Phase 3 Ultra Instinct. His power was so much that made Beerus tremble.
I'm not going to stay behind. Now it's my turn to transform.
Beerus would likewise begin to remember everything that Whis had told him.
Mr. Beerus, we have trained all our lives on your planet, so in that place you'll be able to create a trigger for all your power.
Beerus would begin to imagine in the same way. That's right, the power of Beerus began to increase in such an incredible way that even on this occasion, it would leave Son Goku surprised.
Mr. Beerus is impressive. I didn't think he had increased his battle level so much.
Beerus would continue to raise all his power. That's right, at that moment that his power reached its limit, he began with his great transformation. After a few moments, Beerus had finished his transformation and you could see an imposing Beerus.
Are you ready, Goku, to finish with those bastards? Yes, sir, Beerus. It's time for revenge.
Both unleashed their power, distorting all that dimension. Goku and Beerus would begin to release a gigantic power, making the whole dimension shake, creating several portals. However, they still didn't have enough power to get out of that place.
Interesting. It seems we're trapped by a high-level divine seal.
Ha ha ha! But that won't be enough to stop us! Our power surpasses all the seals they put on!
That's right. But for now, it's correct that we can't get out. But in a short time, we will.
Goku and Daishenka began to train again, but this time to release a power beyond its limits. Goku, in his mind, would be able to see the transformation of the Super Saiyan Phase 4, for which he needed his tail. However, in his mind, he would hear again the voice of Whis.
Mr. Goku, I know that we would achieve the Super Saiyan Phase 3 combined with the Ultra Instinct now. His new evolution will be the Super Saiyan Phase 4, for which he has already foreseen that he would need his tail.
At that moment, Goku's tail would grow again, not suffering any superficial change.
So by recovering my tail, I'll have much more power. This is great! It's time to start training much harder than before.
Goku and Beerus would begin with one of their last training sessions. That's right, the final battle was about to be decided. Meanwhile, outside the room, Daishinkan was preparing an army to face the King of Everything. His guardians and his counterpart, what this Daishinkan did not foresee, was that his counterpart and the King of Everything of this era, as well as his guardians, were also trading.
I'm very close to banish that damn dwarf. I swear that I'll shatter him with all my power.
At that moment, the Vermouth god of Universe 11 would appear in front of Daishinkan.
Vermouth, what can I do for you?
Great Daishinkan-sama. I don't know if it's wise, but why don't we ask for the help of a Super Saiyan warrior with the Super Dragon Balls?
That's a great idea. I have an idea. Since the gods are on our side, we'll go to Universe 10 and use one of the time rings.
Daishinkan and Vermouth would head to Universe 10, arriving quickly, where they were greeted by the Supreme Kaio-sama. Daishinkan would explain everything, asking for a ring of time. The Kaio would not deny it. At that moment, Daishinkan and Vermouth, thanks to a super portal managed to reach a new timeline. They gathered the Super Dragon Balls in a few moments.
Now yes, it's time! Great God Zarma, come out and fulfill my desire.
At that moment, the Great God Zarma would appear.
Tell me what is your wish. I can fulfill anything. You as the all-knowing being, I want you to bring to life an extremely powerful warrior. I understand. It is a very easy wish to fulfill. His name is Archon, but he is also known as the Swordsman of Death.
Zarma's eyes at that moment would shine. The whole place where they were began to see in lightning, earthquakes, and in other disasters. That's right, the being he had brought to life was an incredibly powerful being.
This level of strength is amazing. How are you feeling, Vermouth?
Daishinkan realized that the god Vermouth was not able to breathe. He would create a barrier with which he would be able to move again.
Who is it that brought me to life? This is fascinating.
It's us, Archon. We need your help.
But you're Deku-sama, cursed. Because of you, I was annihilated millions of years ago.
You're wrong. Deku-sama was my father. I'm Daishinkan-sama, his protagonitor.
So Dekuso's son has brought me back to life. This is interesting.
All the Destroyer Gods and I have organized a revelation against Zeno-sama and Daishinkan from another timeline. Will you help us rule everything?
Of course I will. I'll wipe out every divine being that gets in our way, especially the King of Everything.
Daishinkan would say to himself,
that guy that Zarma brought to life seems to have an impressive grudge against Zeno-sama. This is perfect. This way it'll be much more effective.
Daishinkan was about to leave together with Vermouth and Archon, however Archon would tell him something.
I want you to bring my brother to life. He'll be of great help. He's the 007 swordsman.
Understood, but we must go to another timeline, but one question. Why 007?
That's the number of beings he's annihilated. A being that only wiped out 7 subjects. Do you really think he's helpful to us? Simple, God. Wait for your superior to finish speaking. He has annihilated 7 beings in his entire existence, but the 7 are the kings of the entire fallen multiverse.
Daishinkan would be very surprised because millions of years ago, a rumor spread through the 12 multiverses, and it said that a guy ended the lives of 7 kings of the whole.
So the rumor was true after all. A being who killed 7 kings of everything, even sacrificed himself to not kill the most powerful king of everything.
So, you know the story. That's right, he's my brother. And his name is Kimura, the 007 swordsman.
Of course we'll bring him back to life. Don't worry.
Daishinkan and Vermouth and Archon would quickly create a new portal going to a new timeline. When they arrived, they did the same as in the previous one, only this time they revived the 007 swordsman. Nothing had happened, no noise or explosion.
So, after millions of years, they have brought me back to life. Well, long time no see, brother. So, you remember me. That's good, Kimura. I wouldn't be such a scum to forget my own brother. But tell me, why did you bring me back to life?
Archon began to explain everything that had happened and that they were about to face the king of everything, Zeno-sama, and take over this multiverse. Kimura, very excited, would accept. At that moment, everyone would return to their original timeline. But before we start the great battle, I'll end the lives of the remaining 4 kings of everything. Daishiki was about to say something, but Kimura had already disappeared from that place.
Damn it! If that guy gets in trouble, it'll be a problem, since none of the other kings know that he has come back to life.
Don't worry, priest. Nothing bad'll happen. I can assure you that.
Daishiki would stop thinking about what happened, starting to organize all his team. That's right, all the gods were even already immune to Zeno-sama's racing power. Meanwhile, in the time room, Goku and Beerus would be in the terminal phase of their training. That's right, Whis, by granting Goku all the Saiyan knowledge, was able to break all his limits.
It's time. By Whis giving me knowledge, I'm sure I won't lose my mind.
Goku at that moment would create an artificial moon in his hand, throwing it to the sky, and Goku would begin to observe it. In that same instant, Goku would begin to transform to that gigantic Ozaru.
Goku, are you alright? Can you control that state? Of course I am, Mr. Beerus. This gigantic Ozaru will not lose his mind.
Goku at that moment would begin to transform into the Super Saiyan Phase 4, but before finishing his transformation, Goku would combine it with his Divine Ki, observing the variants of the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4 and the Ultra Instinct Phase 4. Both new transformations broke all the laws of the logic of the power, since a simple Saiyan was able to overcome the power of an Angel Supreme level.
Mr. Beerus, I'm ready to begin our revenge. I think that's great, Goku, but don't be in a hurry. Control all that power so you don't wear out your energy. You're right, Mr. Beerus. Let's train for a while longer so we'll be able to finish those bastards quickly.
Goku and Beerus would begin with their last training, where they both trained their peace of mind and spiritual base. Meanwhile, with Daishiki and Archon, it had already been a week since Kimura had left, but at that moment Kimura would appear in front of everyone.
Did you defeat all the other kings except for Zeno-sama?
That's right. It was too easy. The only problem was the king of the most powerful everything.
Daishiki couldn't believe that the Kimura of the 007 swordsman possessed. However, Daishiki would come out of his astonishment when he'd hear Kimura again.
Tell us, priest, when are we going to finish with this king of the multiverse? I can't wait to do it.
I ask you to be patient, please. Very soon we'll bring down that damned one.
At that moment, all the other destroyer gods would arrive, which had increased their power in an unreal way, being so much that even the power of some of them was compared to the power of their guardian angel.
We're all ready. I don't know what the hell we're waiting for.
You're right, Kimura. Tomorrow we'll give the final blow to the kingdom of everything. So get ready, all of you.
All the gods bowed as a sign of being ready for battle. However, at that moment, a strong tremor would be felt throughout the universes, and an extremely impressive power would be present. That's right, it was the power of Zeno-sama, his guardians, and the great priests.
This can't be! The power of those bastards has increased in an amazing way. I can't believe it!
Well, despite being only 3 warriors, it'll be a very fun battle since their power's not low at all. It's time to attack! I won't let them catch us off guard.
Wait! Don't predict. I know you're very powerful, but we must have a strategy.
On that occasion, Daishikin's right. The most powerful of that king, although he doesn't compare to the power of the most powerful king, I'm sure it could cause you problems.
Gods, create the Super Destroyer.
All the gods would create the Super Destroyer again, however this time the power it gave off was even more powerful than when Beerus joined them.
This power is amazing. I can't believe that all this power is flowing through all my ki veins. Well, we are 4 against 4 since 2 of the Guardians will face my Destroyer and Archon, while Kimura will face Zeno-sama and me with my counterpart. Any doubt?
Nothing to be heard in the whole place.
So, now it's time to attack. Let's go!
At that moment, the 4 beings would increase their power to the maximum, being perceived by the 4 beings of the whole realm.
So Daishikin was right. These guys are ready to finish us off.
At that moment, a portal would open in front of all of them. Well, that's right, Daishaken had overlooked something since there were 2 Zeno-samas, so there were also 4 Guardians.
Plan B. Time to finish them off with a big wave of energy.
All would create a giant sphere of energy of massive destruction, being received by a wave of energy by the beings of the Kingdom of Everything. After a few minutes, their attacks colliding, a great explosion would be created. Daishaken and Zeno-sama would be surprised to observe another Daishaken. However, they would not say anything, and at that moment a great battle would begin, in which all in a matter of a few moments that the battle had begun, 2 of the Guardians had fallen into the hands of Kimura, while Daishaken, of an attack of energy, had left the Destroyer on the verge of death. In that moment, Kimura would be in front of Zeno-sama, and both would observe each other fixedly.
I'll not let you destroy my universe. I swear we'll finish you in that evil version of Daishaken.
I will finish you. You don't deserve that power. The king of everything should not be a simple child. I'll fight to the end with you, evil part. Let's see who dies first.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.